Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I sincerely apologize for missing my upload last week. I was very sick. I actually had a stomach flu. It was not good at all. I was literally in bed for about 4 days straight. I missed 2 days of work. And there was no part of any of that was good. Afterwards, I was really trying really hard to do another upload on Sunday, but unfortunately my voice was incredibly hoarse. I couldn't talk. I'm still kind of getting over it. As you can tell by my voice, is a little crackly. I sound like I'm going through puberty for the third time ever. I wanted to do this game justice, and the game is called Stela. And the only way that I could foresee doing this game any kind of justice is doing a proper review, because the game was just that good. I never played an indie game that really just struck me on so many levels. It was, every aspect of this game was just incredible. And that's just my first impression. And also, to give you guys kind of an idea, since this is the first game review I'm going to be doing, there's going to be 4 different criteria that I'm going to be reviewing a game on in the future. When I do these game reviews, it's going to be, point 1 is going to be the gameplay, which is the overall gameplay. It could be anything ranging between aesthetics, the controls, anything of that nature. Point 2 is going to be the music. Point 3 is going to be the actual story of the game. And point 4 is going to be the end game, because the end game is usually, it's like the climax. It kind of gives you a feeling of being done in a video game, a feeling of accomplishment. And I think that's pretty important when it comes to any type of video game, especially when reviewing indie games or any major title. I try to keep it a little bit simple, just for the sake of videos and things like that. And hopefully you guys agree with me. If you don't, well, I don't even know what to say. But if you do agree with me, if you do like the video, of course, give it a like, give me some suggestions on games to play, games to review, and I'll get it done. Starting out with game reviews, I'm going to have the gameplay to the side of me. It should work right about now. So yeah, so you'll see the actual in-game footage that I had on my stream. Let's start off by giving a overall game overview from the developer. So, Stela is a cinematic, atmospheric platform about a young woman witnessing the final days of a mysterious ancient world. And this game was actually, to my surprise, developed and published by Halo Infinite co-developer Skybox Labs. Now, I'm a huge Halo fan, so researching this game and finding out that Skybox Labs was also a co-developer on Halo Infinite just kind of hit me right in the heart. And I actually didn't know who the developers were at first, and after playing it and doing a lot of research, I was like, wow, okay, that makes perfect sense why this game is so awesome. So I'm also going to read you a blurb from the Xbox News post by design director Joel Stack. Stela's namesake is a word meaning a carved or inscribed stone slab or pillar, primarily used as a grave marker, dedication, or commemoration, a tribute to help us remember our past. I mean, this is pretty much all you need to know about the game. It's an amazing piece of work in terms of just art and gameplay in general. So just to kick off the review, I'm going to start off on point 1, which is the gameplay, and focusing mainly on the aesthetic of the game. The game is simple. It's an adventure and puzzle-based game with some horror overtones. In the beginning, there was absolutely no tutorials at all, so I was a little stuck as to what to do in order to get past my first little puzzle. It took a bit for me in the beginning to understand what to do and when to do it. There's only 2 interact buttons that, I had to pause the game and sit and look at the actual controls to be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I have to do. Once the first puzzle was figured out, it sets up the pace of the game really quite well. Everything becomes second nature, and interacting with the environment is just really easy. Due to the visual cues, certain items will light up, and then you'll know, okay, well, this is what I have to do in order to get past this puzzle. And it works really well. The game is visually stunning. Like, it's beautiful. It lacks a little bit of color, but it makes up for it in certain areas of the game where there's like splashes of color needed just to set the overall tone. The game is challenging in all of the right places. Every single puzzle, it didn't really take too long for me to figure out, but every single puzzle became like, okay, well, I had to do it once and actually see how it progresses, and then it kind of gets a little bit more complicated, and as it gets more complicated, it's like, oh, okay, I have to do this at this point in time. It was really, really interesting. Some of the puzzles actually left me scratching my head, wondering what is it that I have to do in order to confuse an enemy to get past them and to, you know, progress within the game. But most of the time, they became like fun challenges, and once you actually passed these challenges, it was so super rewarding. It progressively just gets, not necessarily worse, but it progressively gets more challenging as you go through the different environments and the different levels. And as you progress through each challenge, it's like, it's so rewarding just to get past it. There's no like power-ups or anything like that. It's just really fun. Point 2. We're gonna move on to the music of the game. The music is fucking epic. Like, there's no other way to describe the music. It's just purely epic. As you progress throughout the game, there's certain like musical stingers and musical cues that will alert you to specific enemies in the game. Or if there's like a big overarching like environmental enemy, the music will just get massively loud and just really super epic, and you'll just have to run and run and run and just try to figure out what it is that you have to do. And it just builds up this emotion and this ambiance in the game where it's just like, okay, whoa, like, what is happening? What is it that I have to do? And it just gets louder and louder and louder and builds, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. One of the scenes in the game is when you have to run away from it looks like a tentacle monster, and it's in like this cave almost, and the music was so loud in the stream that you couldn't even hear me speaking, but like because I had headphones on, you could tell like I'm like nervous and trying to like figure out what's going on, and it's just, everything is just overwhelming, and you're just like, whoa, like, what is happening? And I'm just gonna take a cut right now and show you that clip just so you can have an understanding of what it is that I was talking about.
Okay. I'm getting chased. I'm gonna get chased. What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh my god. I felt that in my body. Just keep running. Just keep going. Just keep going. I don't know what it is. I don't want to find out. It'll be a fast puzzle. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Oh, Christ on the cross. It's gonna eat me. Oh, God. I think I'm supposed to go the other way. I'm gonna get eaten. Okay. gone. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Ah, baby. Let's go. Escaped the giant caca monster. Huh?
Another part of the game that where the music kind of became this thing, like this overarching thing, was the scene in which it's a very short scene in the game where you just kind of you go through these dark woods, and after you go through the dark woods, there's like pretty much like raining down fire arrows, and you have to go through it. And as you progress through this area, the music just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And once you finally get to the end, it's like, wow. It felt like something out of 300. It was, that whole sequence was just beautifully imagined. There was aspects like little interactions that you had to use in order to actually survive that whole area that weren't readily available. I just kind of like saw it and I was like, how am I going to get past this open plain? And just picked up this thing to help me survive. And that whole sequence was amazing, and I'll play it right now for you in full screen just so you can witness the beauty of this whole sequence. It's just magnificent.
I think I just died. I don't even know what happened. I don't know if that was supposed to happen. Okay, fire now. Cool. Are we in like hell or something? Like what the hell? I have to admit, the graphics in this game are fucking phenomenal. I really like it. Okay, why? Am I still running away from these dudes? Or are they running away from the fire? They're running away from the fire. What? What? Okay. What am I supposed to do here, guys? I'm gonna get shot by arrows. Okay. I think I'm hell. Go, 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 go. That's a lot of arrows. That's a lot of arrows. Oh my god. Whew. Alright, okay. We gotta go. 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 Keep on pulling it, baby. Come on, let's go, let's go. Good, 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 good. One more pull. Alright, we're good, we're good, we're good. Whoa! Okay, that's bad. Run! We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Go, 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 go. I'm gonna die. Nope, I'm safe over here. Oh, we gotta go, we gotta go. Ah! Woo! Let's go! Oh! We gotta lift the freaking thing! Oh, this sucks. Of arrows. Did I die?
It also adds a lot of tension and provides this kind of creepy sense of character to the game enemies. Certain enemies will have, right from the bat, there was like these beetles that you have to run away from, and the music made it super creepy. I was like, whoa, like, at first I thought they were rats. I was calling them rat beetles or something like that. And it, like, the music, it was like these strings that, you know, came in when the enemy got close, and it just kind of added this suspense and this kind of terror to this small enemy that is just right off the bat. It was like, oh, okay, whoa, like, this is kind of creepy. And yeah, I mean, the overall music in the game functions as a method to give you cues, to give you these kind of, you know, this environment that is kind of out of this world. It's not, you know, you're just trying to understand what's happening, trying to get away from these enemies, these creatures, and it's just, it adds so much depth to the game, like so much depth to the game. Moving on to point number 3, which is the story. To say that there's a story in this game is, there is no story. That's the truth. There's no audio from the actual main character. There's nothing. You just kind of wake up in this strange environment and you just have to just go. And that's it. And whatever your objective is literally to just survive and to, you know, go through these puzzles and get to the end game. The game is a pure adventure game, but the adventure is never really explained. You never really understand what your objective is and what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You're just supposed to just go and figure out what the end result is. You're just this woman who needs to get somewhere very urgently, and there are obstacles in the way, and that's pretty much the game. And it's actually, it's kind of a refreshing thing to have no story. It leaves a lot of the story up to your imagination. You have to figure out what's happening, and you can kind of create the story in your head about what it is that you have to do and what it is that you're doing as this main character. And it's super interesting. It allows for, imagination, and it allows for kind of like a, trying to figure out what's happening within this world, and it's super interesting. Moving on to point number 4, which is the end game. I wanted to add this as a separate piece because it kind of feels like Stela is 2 separate games. Throughout the game, the main character, I guess her name is Stela. I'm not entirely sure. I was calling her Stela throughout the game. But throughout the game, up until the end point, you don't run as fast, you can't jump as high, you have all these obstacles in your way, like certain things are kind of magical, and it just really adds to this great, gameplay. But as soon as you ascend to this other realm, I don't even know what it is, you become almost like a superhero, and the game becomes purely platform. The game is, from its inception, it's a platforming game, but once you get to the end game, like, the music just builds up, and you're jumping from platform to platform. You're pulling these levers that allow you to change your background environment, and you have to get to these gates that allow you to progress throughout this realm. And as you get higher and higher and higher within, this realm that you're in, it just gets more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. And that whole end scene in the game, that whole end scene was just epic. It was, the music builds up, and once you get to the end, the music was just so beautiful that it literally almost made me cry. Like, you felt a sense of accomplishment, and the music just kind of hit you in the chest. It was like, okay, whoa, like, what did I just go through? What adventure did I just undertake? I went through so much stuff, and now it's over. And you just, without spoiling anything, you just get to this area, and it's just like this beautiful, plateau, and the credits roll, and you're just feeling like you just went through the most, and it feels great. So with that being said, through all of the points that I've touched on, point 1, 2, and 3, and 4, which was, point 1 was the gameplay, the music was point 2, point 3 the story, and point 4 the end game. I'm going to give this game an overall score of 9 out of 10. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 because I'm only scratching the surface of this game, and not only that, the way it impacted me as a game, as a gamer, as a consumer of this game, and just playing it for the first time, knowing nothing about it, I was just left with my jaw open at the end of the game. So yeah, there you have it. That's Stela. It's just, overall, it's probably one of the greatest indie games that I've played in a long time. It's on par with games like Limbo, and what is the other game? Inside. Although I have yet to play Inside yet. I've heard great things about Inside. It looks awesome. That's actually a game that's in line for me to play and review and, take a look at. I know nothing about the game. I've only ever seen trailers about Inside. I don't know what the story is. I don't know anything about that game. But this game is definitely worth purchasing. It was a solid purchase of about $20, and every single dollar that I spent on this game was worth it. There's secrets in the game that I kind of accidentally found out, and one of them, I'll just post it here, you'll see in this highlight off right now. I just found it by accident. I didn't know what was happening. I just kind of went through one of the puzzles, and it was just like, oh, secret, cool. So I think I'm probably going to revisit this game at a certain point in time, just because I'm a bit of a completionist, just to get all the secrets. I'm going to try to do all the secrets without actually researching them, because I kind of feel like maybe there's a separate ending or a secret ending or something like that. And maybe I'll stream it and post it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's Stela. make sure to get this game if you play it on Steam. It's available on Steam. It's on the Xbox store. It's a fantastic game. You won't regret playing it. Super interesting, super fun. And just make sure you get those headphones on because it really makes a difference in this game. It just hits you. Like the music, I can't even stress that enough in this game. The music is just amazing. It's amazing. It's a pure work of art. Like this game, from everything from the visuals to the music, it's awe-inspiring. It's amazing. So I hope you liked the review. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, and stay tuned for more of these kind of videos coming up. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace, much love. Catch you on the next one.